Hello there, welcome back to my channel guys. Yes, today I have for you yet again another exciting video. As you can see, the title suggests the New Age cults. Right, this is what we want to talk about in this video. I have about 7 videos that I'm going to do on this subject, and this is the very, well, about 7. Hopefully it doesn't go beyond that. And this is the very first video after 7. Right, so this one is just an introductory video, right, where I give a brief introduction of what is the New Age cults or what is New Age movement. Right now, as usual, I'll be reading this from a book titled Kingdom of the Cults by Dr. Walter Martin. As I would have stated on my video where I talk about the Word of Faith movement, my first video, it is that Dr. Walter Martin is one of, if not the most credible source that you can actually use or go to when dealing with cults. Right, he is dubbed as the godfather of apologetics to cults, or some call him the father of apologetics to cults. Right, you can get this book, Kingdom of the Cults, download it on Google. Right, so just go on Google and type it in and you'll see it there for free. You can get a PDF format of it, because what I'll be reading from is it from my phone, downloaded on PDF. Right, so with that being said, let us get into it. Reading the editor's notes. Although the New Age movement has features that distinguish it from more traditional cults, most noteworthy is the fact that it is not monolithic, autocratic. It is not a monolithic autocratic organization, but instead a loose coalition of individuals and organizations united in core beliefs and practices. That is why we have titled this chapter The New Age Cults. The New Age movement is included in this book because 1, it is religious in character. 2, its forerunner included more traditional cults such as Theosophy, Unity, Christian Science, and Baha'ism. So for the most part, it claims at least compatibility with Christianity and includes many people who consider themselves New Agers and Christians. 3, its doctrine and practices are decidedly not Christian, not biblical. And 4, nevertheless, many liberal Protestants and Roman Catholic congregants embrace one or more New Age beliefs and or practices. The New Age movement is not easily defined. It has no specific founder, primary leader, central headquarters, organizational structure, or definitive statement of beliefs. Nor does it meet in any one place or at any one particular time. It is not even limited to a single group. As a result, the New Age movement is described in a variety of different ways. Elliot Miller, a New Age expert, calls it an extremely large, loosely structured network of organizations and individuals bound together by common values, based in mysticism and monism. That is open bracket, based in mysticism and monism, the worldview that all is one, and a common vision, open bracket, a common new age of peace and mass enlightenment, the Age of Aquarius, close bracket. Award-winning journalist and religion writer Russell Chandler characterizes it as a hybrid mix of spiritual, social, and political forces, and it encompasses sociology, theology, the physical sciences, medicine, anthropology, history, the human potential movement, sports, and science fiction. J. Gordon Melton, a nationally recognized chronicler of religions in America, has gone so far as to call the New Age movement an international social and religious movement, which has showed itself to be an important new force in the development of ever-changing Western culture. The New Age movement is much more than just an isolated system of religious beliefs and practices. The New Age movement is literally a movement of spirituality, health, politics, education, and business that encompasses countless groups seeking to direct the path of society. These groups, while sharing many beliefs in common, often hold numerous distinctive doctrines and at times even disagree with each other on significant issues. Consequently, the New Age movement does not fit the standard theological definition of a cult. It is, to be more precise, a collection of cults. So that means it's not, when you think about New Age, you just have to think about a collection of cults that come together and make up the one thing named New Age. So it's not a one individual entity. It's many entities merged in one. Right? Now, to continue. The term New Age is applied to this collection of cults because those individuals in it, commonly called New Agers, believe that humanity is currently on the brink of something very significant, an evolutionary leap of man's spiritual nature, which eventually will bring about the emergence of a new cycle of human consciousness and experience. Unlike previous ages, the New Age will be marked by global peace, mass enlightenment, and unparalleled spiritual advancement. Even now, the earth allegedly is being made ready for a final transformation from outmoded habits, negative energies, and thought forms. David Splander, a major New Age spokesman, explains, the New Age is a concept that proclaims a new opportunity, a new level of growth attained, a new power released and at work in human affairs, a new manifestation of that evolutionary tide of events which, taken at flood, does indeed lead on to greater things. In this case, to a new heaven, new earth, and new humanity. The New Age author Marilyn Ferguson also sees the New Age movement as a road to positive change. Quote, humankind has come upon the control panel of change. An understanding of how transformation occurs. Humankind has come upon the control panel of change. An understanding of how transformation occurs. We are living in the change of change. The time in which we can intentionally align ourselves with nature for rapid remaking of ourselves and our collapsing institutions. We are not victims, not pawns, not limited by conditions or conditioning. We are capable of imagination, invention, and experiences we have only glimpsed. Now, the author is going to talk about more about the New Age. All lies in New Age. That is the subheading. Although some New Agers are content to wait passively for the dawning of this harmonious era, the majority of them are activists who feel that its arrival is dependent upon the dissemination and mass acceptance of New Age doctrines. Through organized rallies, huge conventions, free literature, and high-profile personalities such as actress Shirley MacLaine, New Age revolutionaries have injected their philosophies into nearly all aspects of our culture. Their beliefs have penetrated the entertainment industry, the food industry, public school curriculums, healthcare services, the political arena, the business world, and even the United States military. To understand the New Age movement, Christians must first realize that much of it is not really new. It's not really very new at all. Even Time magazine has called the New Age a combination of spirituality and superstition, fad and farce, about which the only thing certain is that it is not new. Behind all of its 20th century packaging, terminology, and socio-political agendas, the nuts and bolts of the New Age movement's worldview is ancient occultism. Every technique New Agers use to gain spiritual truth can be traced either directly or indirectly back to pagan mystery religions of Egypt, Babylon, and other cultures. He provides a perfect illustration of Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9 to 10, which says, "What has been will be again, what has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, This is something new. It was here already, long ago. It was here before our time. And that is taken from the NIV translation. The word occult, derived from the Latin occultus, basically means hidden secret things. The term is used to describe practices such as astrology, numerology, witchcraft, crystal gazing, necromancy, which is communication with the dead, magic, and palm reading, which according to the Bible are forbidden to man and are cursed by God. And you can see Leviticus 20 verse 6, Deuteronomy 18 verse 9 to 11, and Acts 19 verse 19. These satanically energized methods of obtaining otherwise unobtainable knowledge comprise the very heart and soul of the New Age movement, because they are the primary means through which New Age teachings are proclaimed. They may have modern sounding names, example, astral projection, psychometry, radiance therapy, and channeling. But they are the same practices the Church of Jesus Christ has been standing against for more than 19 centuries. Right, guys? Besides knowing the role occultism plays in the New Age movement, Christians must also understand that the New Age movement is little more than Hinduism. It is the religion of India disguised in Western terminology and presented as a new brand of spirituality that will prove to be mankind's long-awaited key to utopia. The only substantive difference between Hinduism and the New Age movement is that Hinduism is world-denying, while the New Age movement is world-affirming. No yuppie is going to adopt the Hindu tradition of abandoning all worldly possessions to go meditate under a cliff, on a mountain, or in a cave. Out of necessity, Hinduism asceticism has been replaced by something much more palatable to American taste buds, which is materialism. At its doctrinal core, however, the New Age movement is still Hinduism. Today, we see a choice being made between what C.S. Lewis considered to be the two most advantageous. Hold on, guys. I somewhat lost my page. So I'm going to repeat what I just read just now. Today, we see a choice being made between what C.S. Lewis considered to be the most advanced religious system, Hinduism and Christianity. The conflict between them is unavoidable. Why? Because Hinduism absorbs all religions while Christianity excludes all religions. As a general principle, in fact, the New Age movement accepts all religions. All religions, that is, except Orthodox Christianity, because it could never accept Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox Christianity will naturally condemn, will be at odds with what they teach, so they wouldn't be able to accept it, right? This is the danger of the New Age movement. Everything in it has been designed by Satan to do one thing and one thing alone, and that is to destroy people's faith in the God of the Bible. This we shall now see as we examine the history, doctrines, and practices of the New Age movement. Now the author is going to give you a quick look at how it all began. In the 19th century, there emerged several religious groups that would contribute greatly to the development of the New Age movement. One group was the Theosophical Society, which you can find in chapter 8 of the book. And I tell you already that you can download it on Google, and so to speak. You will see the PDF on it for free, right? But we're not going to cover the Theosophical Society. I don't plan to go through that. Reason being is because that is an organization and it doesn't exist in Jamaica, my country. So perhaps there will be other apologists in other countries and so forth where it resides who will actually take up this, but I am not planning to take up this, right? So you can see chapter 8 on your own. So this Theosophical Society, which was founded in 1875, by Helen Petrovna Blavatsky. From theosophy came anthroposophy, founded in 1912 by Rudolf Steiner. 2. The Arcane School, which is founded in 1923 by Alice Bailey. And 3. The I Am Sex, which began to appear in the 1930s. These related branches of spirituality eventually spawned even more groups, which in turn created countless others. As theosophy and its offspring were producing one strain of spiritual beliefs, the views of psychic healer Phineas P. Quimby were developing another. He thought that all diseases are a product of the mind, and many problems are caused simply by wrong thinking. Now, before I even continue, think about this. Timothy was basically sick. I'll put the scripture on the screen, and Paul recommended him drinking wine for his stomach's sake and his often sickness or disease. Right? Now, he wasn't healed. Nowhere in scripture does it say that it was healed. Now, it begs to ask a question if Timothy was thinking wrong, and this was the reason for him being sick and not having been healed. This goes to show you that what is being said here is absolutely unbiblical, right? It is at odds with scripture passage, because I'm sure that the persons who were ill in the scripture, it wasn't because they thought wrong, right? So that is completely unbiblical. Then it says Quimby's teachings, termed New Thought, gave rise to numerous mind science cults. All of the above groups, along with the thousands of factions they created, were eventually influenced to varying degrees by Spiritism, psychology, science, quantum physics, and the contemporary concerns of society. The resulting blend is what we now call the New Age movement. Now, the author is now going to talk about how the New Age views certain subjects such as God, salvation, Jesus Christ, man, and some other subjects. For this part, we'll only look at their views on God. And then in my other videos to come, we are going to see the other views, right, that I just mentioned. So now, what do they believe about God? The God of the New Age movement is not the God of the Bible. Marilyn Ferguson admits that in the emergent spiritual tradition, or New Age movement, God is not the personage of our Sunday school mentality. New Agers usually define God as an impersonal force pervading all creation. This view naturally flows from the New Age movement most foundational belief, which is monism. Now, monism, which literally means oneism, teaches that all is one and one is all. It asserts that all reality may be reduced to a single unifying principle partaking of the same essence and reality. Every New Ager believes there is ultimately one substance, and that the diversity we perceive is actually unreal. It is an illusion. Oneness is the only reality, and diversity is its apparent manifestation, right? In other words, people only think that a rock lying in the field is something entirely separate from the field in which it is lying. Reality is that the rock is the field and the field is the rock. Similarly, people only think that they are individual entities. Reality, there is no you or me distinction. There is only one big I. So me and you viewers, we are all one and the same. There is no difference between me and you who is actually watching this video. Absolute nonsense. And it is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. But let me continue. This I includes not only every person but also everything. Example, soil, wooden boards, raindrops. Everyone is everything and everything is everyone. All are part of one substance that is usually referred to by New Agers as the reality, power, all, mind. The concluding portion of the Vedas or the Upanishads read, the whole world is this whole world is Brahma. Tranquil, let one worship. It as that from which he came forth, as that into which he will be dissolved, as that in which he breathes. Let me repeat. This whole world is Brahma. Tranquil, let one worship. It as that from which he came forth, as that into which he will be dissolved, as that in which he breathes. Contrary to the Hinduistic philosophy of the New Age movement, God is not all and all is not God. Genesis 1 verse 1 clearly establishes that God is separate and distinct from the universe. The entire first chapter of Genesis systematically shows that God, rather than a being a part of all that exists, is the creator of all that exists. Other passages supporting this are Psalms 33 verse 13 to 14, and I'll put it on the screen. Isaiah 42 verse 1, Isaiah 44 verse 24, and Acts 17 verse 24 to 45. Paul the Apostle further demonstrates that God and creation are not one when he mentioned those who exchange the truth of God for a lie so they can worship and serve the creature or the created thing or creation rather than the creator. And you can see Romans 1 verse 18 to 25 for that. Elder Winker points out in the New Age is lying to you that worship of Ella Winker points out in the New Age is lying to you that worship of the creature is possible only if the creature is distinct and separate from the creator. Also, God is not an impersonal substance or a cosmic force. In Exodus 3 verse 14 to 15, the Lord applies to himself the divine name I, first person singular, and am, the verb to be. Only a reflective cognizant ego mind can say I am. Consequently, God must be a person. Additionally, God performs acts that are only possible for a personal being. In Jeremiah 29 verse 11, for example, he declares that he knows the thoughts he thinks towards his people. How can an impersonal force know or think? God hears, which according to Exodus 2 verse 24, sees according to Hebrews 4 verse 13, speaks according to Leviticus 19 verse 1, knows everything according to 1 John 3 verse 20, judges according to Psalms 50 verse 6, loves according to Proverbs 3 verse 12 and Jeremiah 31 verse 3, and has a will according to 1 John 2 verse 17. In sharp contrast to the impersonal God of the New Age movement, the God of Christianity is an intelligent, compassionate, and personal being. He is the living God. Daniel 6 verse 26, 1 Timothy 3 verse 15, and 1 Timothy 4 verse 10, Hebrews 10 verse 31. And he is a true God. See 2 Chronicles 15 verse 3, Jeremiah 10 verse 10, 1 Thessalonians 1 verse 9. As such, he is also the quintessential enemy of the New Agers, whose most cherished belief is that they are God. This has ever been man's overall intention, to try to say that they are God or to put themselves in position of godhood. And so this is the overall or the end goal of the New Age movement. They riddle and color their thing in such a way which would suggest that we are actually gods. Right, guys? So with that being said, I end this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Stay tuned next week where we will talk about some of their other beliefs. With that being said, bye bye now.